What's up, guys, and welcome back to Epic Journey Through the Bible. My name is Jacob Serns, and my question for you today is, are you hungry? Are you hungry? We're looking at John chapter 6, and Jesus is there ministering to the people, and the people are getting more and more and more excited about him, so much so that they're ready for him to be their king. They're like, you know what? This guy could conquer the Romans. This guy could totally just take us where we want to go. So we need to make this guy king. And Jesus then says to them the weirdest thing, because he senses this. He realizes that at this point, it's going to be a major turning point in his ministry. And the people are needing to understand that he didn't come to the earth to be an earthly king. He didn't come to take over. He didn't come to get riches and have a life of ease and luxury. He came to save them from their sins. And so he says to them, unless you eat my flesh and drink my blood, you can have no part in me. Meaning you can't even be my follower. You can't even be my disciple unless you're willing to eat my flesh and drink my blood. Now that sounds really weird. That sounds like, wait, is Jesus promoting cannibalism? Is that what he's saying right there? And in fact, people are so confused by this saying that it says he lost many disciples. He lost many. Many turned away and left him from that point forward. But what did Jesus really mean by this? Well, looking back in hindsight for us, I gotta be honest, it's a lot easier for us to figure this out than it was probably for them at that time. But what he means is the cross, obviously. He means that he was gonna pour out his blood. He was going to give his flesh. He was going to give up his body, give up his life, die a torturous and horrible, murderous death so that they could be saved. And that was the kingdom that he wanted to give to them. Not overthrowing the Romans, not just making them rich, no, making them spiritually rich for eternity, that they could be with him forever in a place free from pain and sadness and sickness and death and all the other bad stuff. So that was what Jesus meant by this. So the question, are you hungry? Are you hungry for the bread of life? Because that's what Jesus calls himself in John 6. He says, I am the bread of life that has come down from heaven. It's not easy. It wasn't easy for them to accept that at that point. It wasn't easy for them to accept the fact, because they knew Jesus growing up as a boy. And they even say that. They're like, dude, this is like Joseph and Mary's kid. Like, we know this guy. This guy isn't some special thing. He didn't come from heaven. He came from Galilee, yo. What is this guy talking about? But those who understood what he meant, those who caught the symbolism and were able to stay with him. In fact, Peter says, we have nowhere else to go. I'm just going to stay with you. He may not have even understood what Jesus said, but he chose to stay with him. And that's a lesson for us as well, that even if you don't understand every little detail of Jesus, do you understand his love for you? Do you understand at least how he feels about you, and at least the fact that he wants to have a relationship with you? And are you willing to then have that relationship with him? If you are, if you do, then you're on your way to eating his flesh and drinking his blood. And from there, that's what saves you. Accepting him into your heart, accepting his sacrifice in place of your own righteous acts, and saying, Jesus, you live inside of me. You take over. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Push that thumbs up button if you liked it. Subscribe over here. Push the bell notification. Watch another cool video over here. Peace, love, and the joy of the Lord.